Welcome to 302 Marketing Redirect. I'm Jen McFarland, joined by Bridget Willard.
Hola.
Yeah, you have to talk. You don't just get to wave. Like, that's it,
Okay, clearly I haven't had enough caffeine. I'm trying. I'm really trying today. I put on makeup. I blew dry my hair. I took a shower. I shaved. Like, I'm really trying to be a human. And welcome to the second episode.
And welcome to the second episode. Overused copy, i.e., badass ROI, potentially leveraged, things like that. And then also, if you've noticed, I'm really red. No, we did not have a heat wave in Portland, Oregon. I just had an incident outside on the street where I may or may not have yelled at some lady I don't know.
She just wanted Portland to be more like New York City, huh, Jen?
Apparently, yeah. And I'm just not that into Portland anymore, if you want to know the truth.
Maybe Portland's just not into that.
It's a long, drawn-out breakup where I'm really trying to convince my husband that it's time to go.
Portland left you on red.
Well, like my girlfriend was jogging around the neighborhood. This is not a joke. And the police pulled her aside and said, "Hey, there's a guy in a light green Subaru right now who's driving through the neighborhood trying to abduct joggers with a gun."
Okay.
So, so I was like, "So you went right home, right?" She's like, "No, I just looked for a green Subaru."
Oh my God.
And then
nothing will interrupt my working out.
And I was like, "Really? I just stayed home. I didn't even jog," And then so then she called the news outlets and they reported it, but they weren't going to report it, unless she said something. And so it's just stuff like that. It just gets old.
Yeah.
The guy had a gun. He had the police found somebody who was curled up in the bushes, all nervous and stuff after it had happened, and stuff like that. And then I had to yell at the dumb lady today who wanted me to back my car into an intersection because the streets here are narrow and people park on the sides of the street. So you're kind of playing chicken with people. I had just passed through an intersection behind another car, and this lady just decided she needed to come through. Well, she was the one who had street behind her. Okay. And usually that person is the one to back up and let the other person through. Just kind of how it works. So she pushed and pushed and pushed. And she had room, I pulled over, and she's yelling at me and I'm like, "What?" And John's like, "She wants you to back up." I'm like, "In the intersection?" I'm like, "No." And John's like, "No, she's yelling. Why don't you do it?" I'm like, "I'm not doing it." So I ended up doing it because my husband was in the car. And then I may have yelled at the lady on the way by.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. She had a Chihuahua though. I have no regrets or regrets. No regrets.
When you only read, you don't know how things are pronunciated. And I like to say it that way on purpose.
No regrets.
Pronunciated.
I said that to my husband once. I said, "No regrets." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Oh, people get the tattoo on their arm wrong all the time." And so this is COVID time, right? So we spent 2 hours looking at no regrets tattoos on Google. So if you ever Google no regrets, there's all kinds of tattoos out there. It's kind of funny stuff. So, we were going to talk about words today.
Yes, words.
So speaking of regrets, which is not spelled that way, it's actually spelled regrets. Ta-da! Yes. Overused marketing copy. Go. What are words that people ask you to use or that they think? So in the graphic for today's show, I put in badass because I feel like people are always like, "Hey, I'm a rock star coach. I'm a badass. I'm going to help you be a badass." And I feel like it's really overused.
But are you a badass? To me,
I mean,
I
am.
It is okay, it is overused. And I know that we do that in our female hustler culture. But, okay, so, God, I have so many. Well, the one that bugs me the most is ROI. And that's not really in marketing copy. It does appear in marketing copy.
Yeah.
But it's an accounting term that has nothing to do with marketing, which is an expense and not an asset. So because it's
return on investment.
Yeah, investments are assets. So if you buy something that increases in value, that's an asset class in your accounting. There's no return on a business expense. that way. So I really, really hate it, and that's my accounting background. And also, I hate it because all you're doing is buying eyeballs. So it just drives me banana pants. Um,
How many
that's
eyeballs do you have over there? I just imagine you like have an eyeball chest over there, and you
Igor.
open it, and you're like, you know,
Oh,
I mean,
let's try this
I mean,
eyeball.
I get it, but I think that if you, you know, I do not have an accounting background. Shocking, I know. But
They didn't want
but
accountants in the Peace Corps.
hey, now,
Imagine that.
I think they have them, but I don't know, not me.
They're in the front
Um,
office.
my my dad was an accountant. My business partner's an accountant. You know, like I'm around numbers people all the time. It's not I don't number. But like people want to like they're investing in their marketing.
Yeah.
So they want to see a return on that. And it's not always eyeballs. It's that it leads to a conversion, although the conversion part is actually sales, which is separate from marketing, which is one of my pet peeves, frankly, because people conflate marketing and sales all the time and they're different.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you market to get attention and
Right.
then
And then once
usually
you have it,
somebody else is closing the deal.
it's
Like
not my
that's
problem anymore.
not my problem anymore.
Transparent. Transparent is another marketing word that
Mm,
used to mean something like, okay, so Buffer is transparent. You could go on their website and find out how much happiness engineers make, and the CEO Joel Gas- Gaston makes. That's
right.
transparent. But you know, a lot of companies aren't transparent, and you know that when you have to sign an NDA.
Good point.
Which is a non-disclosure agreement. So like we're really transparent, and we want to be here's another one I love.
Oh,
We want
empowerment.
to be authentic.
Hey, Shelly. Thanks for watching.
Shelly,
Shelly
our first
Carney,
live viewer
first live viewer
ever.
ever.
Cha-chow, sound effects, post-production things right
Overused
now.
concept empowerment. I agree with this. In fact, when I got my whole rebranding and I met with the writer and they're like, what are some of the words that you can't use? And the only word that I said you cannot use is empowerment. And the reason why is empowerment. No, I cannot empower you. Empowerment comes from within. I mean, that's like the whole definition of empowerment. I can inspire you, I can help you, I can motivate you. I cannot empower you to do something.
Yeah, you can encourage, you can
I can
equip.
encourage. Shelly agrees. I
Yeah,
totally agree.
that's
Yeah, I mean,
definitely. I don't have a whole lot of people asking me to put specific words in my copy. I think they know better than to
well,
tell me what
yeah,
to do.
but
Uh,
this was more like, what are things that you see like out in
oh
the
yeah,
wild? You know, I mean, and I
rock
think that
star.
rock star.
That is so stupid. Or I'll tell you. You want to know? Do you want to know? Do you
Yes, that's
really
why
really
we're
want to
having a
know?
show.
Uh, I cannot stand these stupid ass job titles and changing up of names. Okay, you're the you're
Oh,
a
right.
you're head of demand generation. Fuck off. You're a marketer.
You're a
Oh no,
marketer.
because it was growth marketing and that or growth hacker.
Oh, you don't like growth hacking?
No, because there's no hack, okay? There's only work, and I hate that, like, I'm a growth hacker. I'm in charge of demand somebody sent me a job, first of all, people keep sending me jobs, which
Really?
which is, um, I think well-intentioned, but also insulting. Because to me, if you send a business owner, I'm literally the CEO of my LLC. Like,
Right.
my business taxes are sitting over there. I didn't have time to go scan them in before I mail them away. Like, if you send me a job listing, to me that
Right.
says, "You need to give up on your dream, Bridget. I know that you paid
Well, yeah.
$500 to be CEO, but maybe you would like this job instead." No, I'm trying the job this job.
This is what
I'm
I
the
do.
CEO job.
Yeah, I wonder how many people are sending other like their male counterparts in business job listings. I really do think some of that stuff is pretty gendered. People make assumptions and they think they're being helpful and well intentioned. Okay, okay. So I'm in these Facebook groups, like women in marketing and stuff. The job thing kind of got me on it. And there was a job listing, and one of the bullet points was because they're trying to make it sound like so awesome. And it's like, you'll respond to customer requests at all hours because you want to make everything great for them so that they can give you that feedback and you feel like you're really making everything better. And I'm like,
So
no, you
you're
just
a
want me to
dog?
work all the time. Like, what the heck?
I feel like the labor board would have trouble with that.
Let's
Oh,
see. Shelly
man.
says, I forward job offers to my son and his girlfriend. Yeah. I mean, like, we all do it. It's not,
Oh,
it's
I
not a
saw
bad
this.
thing, but
And sometimes people will send it to me with the caveat of maybe you can convince them to be your client. Like, now I have tried that before. And then I'm like, you know what? No.
no.
You
But
either want my
because
help or you don't.
it's a different role, right? Like if you're in marketing and you want to hire somebody internally, you have like different expectations, I think, than when you want to hire a
Oh,
consultant to
100%.
come in, and like I appreciate the sentiment, but again, like it's a different role than like bringing in a consultant as the expert to execute like on a very narrow focus. Like that's typically what when you're hiring a consultant, that's what you want. A job, I mean, you could be doing just about anything.
Well,
And it's the
right.
expectation, right? Like, I
You're
mean,
selling your
they,
time
yeah,
to do whatever piddly dunk work that's going on.
piddly dunk.
Well, there's always piddly dunk work. And like, because the only reason why they want employees is to control you.
Eh, I mean, I don't know.
If you do the
How
work,
long have you had your own business? Maybe I'm just not there yet.
well, I don't have employees yet, but I have
I know.
vendors. And if they don't hit their deadlines, then they're not going to be vendors anymore. Like, I don't care how long it takes you to
No,
do
I'm
this
just saying,
thing.
like, when you say, like, they just want to, like, the companies just want to own their employees. And I'm just saying, I don't think I'm there yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not that cynical yet, I guess.
Okay, well, I've seen these conversations on LinkedIn where they're like, "What do you think if your employees are, doing work on the side?" And I literally
Oh,
replied,
right.
"You don't own these people. They're
Or their
not
time,
indentured servants. They're
or
not
their time, or
slaves.
their hobbies,
You
or,
have
yeah.
only purchased 40 hours a week. What they do for the other hours that exist is none of your business unless they
Well,
signed a non-compete." But I'm saying
yeah,
like a
we had some
secretary
rules
or
around moonlighting and stuff, but it was like it was very much around like, are you doing the same thing? And it was like really, I mean, but yeah, no, I mean, they don't own all of your time, but they
no,
think they
they only
do.
right, and that's the problem. So like they just want somebody for $25 an hour to get their stuff done.
25. Bless your heart.
They do. I'm serious.
I'm saying it's more like 15. Like
Oh
for
God.
marketing specialists and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I can't even. Maybe it's 25 in California. It's probably 15 to 20 here in San Antonio, Texas. And they wonder
yeah.
why we are the poorest of the top 10 cities in America.
Well, they're not paying people enough. It it was so funny. So ever since Betty White died, I get all these like Betty White clips shown to me in Facebook, and one of them was for this show I had never heard of called Hot in Cleveland. So when you mentioned LA, like it's for Hot in Cleveland. Have you ever seen that show?
No, but I heard about it.
Never even heard of it and stuff. And so the whole premise of this show, and it was on for 6 years. I didn't even know it existed. And then the whole premise is these three friends. One of them is Valerie Bertinelli. One was the lady
Oh.
from Frasier, and the other one is Wendy Malick, who's been in all kinds of shows. Anyway, they're all on a plane to Paris from LA, and the plane has some sort of engine trouble or something and is going to make an emergency landing. And so they end up in Cleveland. And so they go to a bar in Cleveland and everybody's like, "You guys are hot." And like the bar's really cheap, everything's, and they're like, "Dude, we're hot again. Guys like us. Everything's cheap here."
That's
So they end
exactly
up
what
like
happened in San
living in
Antonio.
Cleveland. Like they ended up staying. Like the whole premise is like they're hot again in their like, 50s or whatever. And then Betty White's like the caretaker of this house and stuff, and then hijinks
That
happen and
that
stuff.
is
Anyway,
a huge reason why I chose to move
but
here.
San Antonio, because you were in like like
I was
SoCal,
in,
right?
Plastic
Or
Land,
Orange
Orange
County.
County, yeah. So
Yeah.
I used to say it's really hard for a solid 7 in a land of Barbies. And I come here and I'm all overweight and I look good.
You look
In
good.
San Antonio, you see all these muscly, skinny, thin men with curvaceous girls. They don't like any
Yeah.
thin girls. In
So there
fact,
you
I
go.
get on Tinder, I start seeing a bunch of people, and then I gotta stop the floodgates and delete my account again. Because once I get a bunch of people talking, then then it's just like, whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
there, Nelly. Because the other reason why I picked it here is there are 500,000 single men. That's a lot of single men for a
For
town
you.
of 1.7
So
million.
so wait a minute. So you just picked up your whole like marketing company and everything to move someplace because it would be a good place to meet dudes?
That
Like you
was
don't
one
have,
of the reasons.
or do you have friends there?
My best friend lives 2.5 hours south of me,
Okay.
and then I know some people in San Antonio and
Okay.
stuff like that. But I don't have any friends like within 10 minutes of me yet. Like,
Okay.
it's a city, like, people
Right.
go,
Yeah.
"Oh, man, you go to the dentist way over there." You mean
I
okay,
thought
I
you were gonna
can't
stop
walk.
at you go to the dentist, and I was gonna be like, okay, I'm a little scared now if it's like an event to go to the
No,
dentist, but
my
okay.
regular dentist, I walk to, but, so weird. No, but those were factors, like, when you're choosing cities, because I thought about Atlanta, thought about Nashville, and I thought about Montclair, Vermont. Montclair, Vermont is the smallest capital city in all of the
I was gonna
United
say,
States.
I thought that was like a capital.
Mhm.
Yeah. So should we get back to overused copy? We kind of went
Yes.
far afield.
Well,
I mean, but
it's it's a
it happens.
podcast.
It's Saturday night.
It's a podcast. That's what we're supposed to
This
do.
is what you get. Like marketing, like the Women Conquer Business Show Thursdays. I'm like still there. I'm like
Yeah.
there. I'm like there. Today I've been at like a picnic, and well, it wasn't a picnic. It's still pouring down rain here. To recap, if you weren't here when we first came on, it's an atmospheric river. Look that up. It's literally a river coming from the sky, and that's what it's felt like here.
Wow. Wow. So yeah,
This is
overused
this is
words.
not sunburn. So anyway,
We hit badass, rock star.
we have badass, rock star,
empowerment.
ROI, empowerment. Okay, so I used leverage. I used that as a headline for a blog. I had a guest blog, and that was really what it was about.
But leverage isn't
But
a
I
bad
felt-
thing
I know.
unless it's
I just feel like it's
extortion.
overused. It's like overused.
I think
like,
people don't understand what it means. I think our biggest problem with overused words is using non-native English speakers and AI tools to write articles, and then having some kind of dictionary of terms that people use locally thrown in to spice it up and make it sound readable.
Well, actually, what I think it is, no, never mind. I was going to go to Nerd Town. Do you want to go to Nerd Town with me?
Won't
I
you
was gonna
take
say
me to Nerd
Town? So what I was, did you just snort? So there are, when you go to write like blog posts and stuff, so you're just gonna have to let me know if this is like way too nerdy. I think that we've gone to Nerd Town, but you can look up power words.
Yeah.
And some of these words we're talking about, they're on every power word, or like, because it's like power words, emotional words, like all these things that you can put. And that's, I think, what part of why you see them over and over again.
Right.
Like,
But mix it up. Get a thesaurus. I have a book that Tess Whitler suggested called Words That Sell. And it has phrases and all kinds of stuff.
Wait, where did this come from?
It came from Amazon. But it's called Words That Sell. Yeah. It's a book. Tess Whitler recommended it to me, and I love it. I have it.
Who's
I
Tess
read it.
Whitler?
She's one of my friends. She just moved to the Pacific Northwest, somewhere in Washington, but she's one of my friends on the internet. Like, if I could gather like about 10% of my Twitter followers within 25 miles, I would be a very happy person that didn't need therapy. Probably. As it is, I have to get dressed and leave my apartment.
You just need different therapy. Trust me. My friends need different therapy after an hour with me. But
And
okay, so
that's
that
why
was
this
called
podcast is only 40 minutes. So
Oh, did we just decide that? Wait, you're cutting me off in like 20 minutes? Okay, so Words That Sell. I'm trying to bring us
it's a
back.
great book. It's a really great book. It's really
So,
helpful.
does it have different words than what you find in all of the other spots?
Now I wish I wasn't on the table in the other room.
It's on the table. That's okay.
Yeah, because I like to
Yeah.
have it on my dining room table when I'm sitting there, like just eating or something. I'll just look at it. I'll just look through it because
Yeah.
you get in a rut.
You
You
do.
get in a rut as a writer.
You do. Well,
That's why I'm
breaking
going to
news.
comedy shows.
Like, this is the wrong podcast for breaking news, but I turned on the New Epiphany Courses, website yesterday because I was on I know. I had a podcast interview yesterday and I had told the guy, I'm like, no, because he sent me like an outline and I'm like, no, you're getting Epiphany Courses wrong. But I have to turn the website on because you're basing it on what you see and I'll turn it on, So I had reached the point where the list was just enough that I was like, okay, now we're just like getting to the things that don't matter as much. Like it's still way better than the other one, So I turned it on and now I'm like scurrying to try and like catch up on my little list. But what I've noticed is as I'm going through on that and I'm trying to write all of the buttons and the bullets and everything, that I'm running out of words. And then I go to the thesaurus and I look up like, what's another word for learn or, things like that. And it's very unsatisfying. Because there's not a lot of ways to say some of the words I want to say. And I wonder if that's what happens to other people. Like they just get in those ruts because they're looking it up and there's just nothing out there that says exactly what they want to say.
Well, in tech, we say level up a lot as a gamer reference. Like
Oh,
level
I
up
don't
your
like
skills.
that. Yeah.
That's
up
another
level.
overused.
I don't like that one. Level up level.
Yeah.
Gosh, what's another way of saying that? And it's funny, people make fun of me because I say some things that are very corporate-y, and it's because I was very corporate. I mean, I, I worked in a lot of really big environments, and
Yeah.
people say things like leverage,
synergy.
all of that kind of stuff, synergy, and all that stuff. Tell us how you really feel, so you don't like synergy. Oh, okay.
No, I hate it. Like, why don't you just say this is a good mashup? Like that's more human. Like I really like the synergy of, or how about solutions? I actually think solutions is overused in marketing copy, especially in bios or in the above the fold copy.
Right.
Like we present dynamic solutions to our clients.
But see, here's the thing.
Like, what does that mean?
Right, because you're not thinking about the audience. The audience doesn't care that you provide solutions. They want to see results.
Yeah, but that could be.
But they don't even want to see the word. They don't even want to see the word results. They want to see an example of what their life could be like. And that's the problem with a lot of these words is they're very generic. They're really about yourself and not about the customer. They are. That's why they don't work.
And that's so hard. It's so hard to not write about yourself for your own business.
Yeah,
and that is why, that's part of why clients get in their own way, because their identities are so tied to it. Like my original, like one of my taglines in the evolution of my business was your voice, your power, your brand.
Yeah.
And then
like
my friend from Fat Dog Creatives, Rhonda, was like, but all this copy is about you.
Oh.
Right. And I was like, you're right. And a lot of times we want to make our website our resume. Well, that's what LinkedIn's for. You don't need to do that.
Oh, I've been using LinkedIn wrong. Okay, good talk.
But I mean, all your qualifications are on LinkedIn.
But they are. You're right. Yeah, and I try to save that for the about page too. Although that, I'll be honest, that's pretty snappy now too. It's not all boring stuff anymore. But I do put a little in there because there are people like me who care about credentials still.
Yeah.
There's fewer and fewer people like that, but like I do include it. So, I think that that's really interesting. The other thing that people do to get in their own way that I see a lot is they spend a lot of time talking about process. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And I did it. I'm just saying like this was part of my own journey was to get out of that thing because you learn, and that's what I mean about like solutions. You're not telling people what you're solving. Like you're not giving them an example, Um and it's really hard, but like people don't want to hear about the process. They really don't. They want they want to know what their life is going to be like. Like however it is that you're going to put that, like how are you going to what's the delta here? However you want to say that.
What's
What's
the
the
delta?
change?
I love that.
Sorry, what's the
No,
delta? I
that
know.
brought me right back to chemistry. I love it. I love it. So, but the thing is, so you have a process, and sometimes they want to know, like when I'm doing a sales call, and they're like, "Great, let's do it. What are the next steps?" I go,
Right.
"The next steps are blah 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 blah," and they're like,
Yeah, but
"Okay,
that's
fine,
during a sales call.
right." But they don't give a crap about how I do my actual job.
No.
Uh-uh. And so when you
And
say
part of that's
process,
cuz admittedly everybody can do your job.
oh yeah, of course. Oh, did you know that everybody in a company is a marketer? Did you
Yes,
know that?
truly.
Uh-huh. That's why so many tech companies are so badly marketed
Oh,
because
yeah.
they truly
Yeah.
believe it. And I'm going to say something.
Uh-oh. What are
It's
you going to
revenge
say?
of the nerds because in a normal world, the marketing people tell the computer people what to do. But in tech, the computer people tell the marketing people what to do.
It's bizarro world, man.
Well, I mean, they're just really good at what they're doing. They're engineers. They're super good at what they do. But that
But
doesn't mean they
that's
know how to talk about it.
right. Well, they know how to talk about it to other nerds.
Well,
They
okay,
don't know
but
how to
also
talk
they're
about
too
it to
close to it.
customers. And it's a common startup problem. Like
Oh, it's a
startups know how to
huge
talk to
problem.
investors. They know how to talk to each other about what it is that they're doing. But they don't know how to interface with the people who are going to pay them money.
Right.
Like they don't know how to market in that way. And
And a
it's
lot of
different.
times they don't even know how to talk about their product to other people because they're too close to it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is like the same problem I had with talking about myself too much on my thing. Like, why should you hire me? Like, it's too much about me
But that's
because our
why
identities as business
right.
owners are so tied into our companies. That is a
Yeah.
big problem with getting in our own way.
Well, and I agree with that. I think that's why a lot of people you need another voice if you are a solopreneur or a small business owner, and you're not getting results, especially like you need another voice in there who's going to be like, "Hey, you might be getting in your own way in this way." Like, and it's because you're so close to it. You love it. Your business is your baby. Like
Yeah.
it's like the thing that you're doing. You're working in it all the time. You're doing stuff like and things and everything. It's like with Epiphany. I haven't really told everybody I turned it on. I mean, it's you, me, and Shelly right now. Like, hey guys, like nobody knows. I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And it's because like I know there's stuff. Like I know that it's not right. I just know that it's like a 180-degree improvement. Like, it's like so much better, but it's not like there,
But so that goes back to done is better than perfect. And it's the
Exactly.
internet, it's
Yeah.
not even print. But I used to work at a publisher when I was a teenager, and every time they would get, they'd print a textbooks, it was college textbooks, and they would get corrections, red lines or whatever. They just kept them for the next edition. They kept them
Right.
in a big stack. It doesn't matter, but like we're so afraid of what people will say. And we think
Yeah, I
tens
mean,
of people will
yeah,
be
tens of people.
they're not. Nobody cares.
It's true. I
Unless they're
mean,
really stalking you to be a hater, like the Philistines, like the Pharisees were with Jesus. Oh, it's the Sabbath. I bet he's
no,
gonna heal
it's
someone.
it's like my
Just
hater. Like, how is it like Thursday's show of Women Conquer Business was amazing. It was like off the hook. Like, and we had all these comments and everybody loved it. Like, and Shelly and I were both on it, Shelly's so knowledgeable. Like she was just doing it. Yeah. Hater. My hater on YouTube. Hey dude, you're still there.
yeah.
Thanks,
It's
man. Like it's like I can always guarantee it. And I just laugh at it. I just laugh.
elbow cough.
But it's still like, come on, man. Like you got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Just some hating. You know, but you have to keep going. And I guess that's the thing though. Like, so like I told John this morning, my husband, I was like, I just had to turn it on because like it gets to where you're not even motivated to work on something anymore if people can't see it.
Dude, yes.
Do you know what
It's
I mean?
so stressful. I feel like that's so hard with Launch with Words. Like this care pack that was supposed to be done in April. What day is it? June
11th.
11th. Okay. I still have 6 more to write. And I can knock them out, but like right now I'm writing about chickens. Okay. So,
Wait, what?
yes.
You're
One
writing
of my
about
new
chickens?
clients is a rare breed hatchery in Door County, Wisconsin.
That's awesome.
Yes.
How did that happen?
It's just who you know, baby. It's
The
just who you
Twitter?
know.
The Twitter machine?
Oh, it's a former colleague.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, but that's the thing is like, but getting in your way, and I hate to say this, but with a lot of my consulting clients, they tend to take a lot of courses as a way as a
Not to
way.
bust you, Jen, but they take a lot of courses.
I mean, this is good for your business. They tend to take a lot of courses to procrastinate from actually
Yeah.
doing something productive.
Well, that's why I add a community because I want to talk to them into like
There needs
to
to be
move them.
accountability.
Yeah,
Yes.
because at first it wasn't like that. I mean, that's the thing. It's like totally changed. We used to want to do like, independent, we wanted to do like independent courses. It wasn't going to be any live time with me. It wasn't going to, all this stuff. And we've changed that. Like it's a community. There's going to be live events and like, which means kind of like coaching with
Yeah.
people, but a lot of it is like people need that accountability to like move.
Oh, 100%.
I realized, so like, but that's why we changed it to a membership and everything.
Yeah.
So
The other
Ooh.
thing that they'll do is they'll nerd out over specific tools. So
Oh,
my
yeah.
philosophy is the one you use is the one that works.
Yep.
Trello, ClickUp, Asana, Notion, Airtable. It doesn't
Doesn't matter.
Monday.
It's the one that you
doesn't
use.
Excel. It
I
doesn't.
use Excel, honestly. It's
I
the
use
best one.
Google Sheets. Well, to me,
Google Sheets, Excel, it's
Yeah.
because it's already included.
but I
don't
have
to
a
buy
paper
anything.
calendar. I have literally a paper calendar for client deliverables. And then I have another calendar for my own stuff. That's because I want to see it. I don't want to always open this machine up and have it telling me what to do.
Right. I left Shelly's comment up here about referrals because that's one of the things about Epiphany courses too, is when you have time with people, you can be like, well, you really need to talk to this person or that person. Like, and that's the thing, like I have no scarcity about saying I'm not your gal.
Yeah.
Like, and I send people to other people. Like that's a big part of just who I am. Like,
All the
and
time.
I don't need all of the work. And like, there's things that I don't really enjoy. So like, one of the great things about at least bringing people in if they're stuck is to say, oh, okay, this is what's going on. And you help people and then you help them into the next place. Like
Yeah.
that's really what we're all here for. We're all stops on somebody's journey, I don't look at anything as like being a forever thing. So,
Gosh,
so yeah.
I wish I could do that. I think that's amazing because I'm like, I want everything to be permanent all the time. So I'm supposed to enjoy the now. That's one of my assignments. I'm like, well, why would I do this if it's not going to be something in the future? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. No, this could be the last time I ever talk to you, and it's okay because I'm enjoying the now.
Are you in the now?
I'm trying, but I'm like,
It's hard.
I can't wait till next week. I'm like, that's what my brain is.
Well, but that's okay.
I
We'll
love
be
these
here next week.
conversations. They're so good. And so like how are we, what's it like? I know like we're trying to be funny and everything like that, but honestly,
Are we
how do-
trying? Oh, shoot. Sorry.
maybe we're not trying. I don't know. We haven't totally nailed down the tonality yet, but like what could we do to encourage people if there's, a couple of teachers in this podcast, what's like some lessons of like, okay, so instead of using Epic, Like, how do we get these how do we know if something's too saturated, too overused? Like, what are some tools to find that, that different voice?
Yeah, I mean, I have a barometer, and then what I was starting to say is I'm in a lot of different groups, right? And one of them is this women in marketing. I've thought about adding you to it. I was going to ask you if you wanted to do it because people
Sure.
are just talking about all the problems that they're seeing. It's just a Facebook group, and it really is a good barometer, I think, for a lot of things, where you just kind of see like the patterns. Some of it, of course, is like tactical questions and stuff like that, but it's a lot of kind of just seeing what's going on in marketing and what people are like tired of. There seem to be all these questions that pop up, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's overused," or whatever, so it kind of like it bubbles things up, and then you kind of see it, and then it's like when when you buy a new car and then suddenly you see them everywhere,
Yes.
you
And
know, and
it could be our own problem. I remember when I used to lead worship in church, all the musicians, we were sick of songs. The people weren't sick of songs. They only heard them like once a week. We've been rehearsing
right.
this stuff, you know? And so there's that balance of like, maybe this is overused in one industry, but it's not
Yeah.
overused with chickens. Like,
Back to the chickens.
I mean, it's a different world, right? So, I mean, who's talking about, the epic ROI of chickens?
Chicken coops.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the Spitshaven, once they're mature in 6 months, you get 170 eggs a year. That's enough to bake 56 chocolate cakes. That's some ROI for you right
That's some
there.
ROI for you. Is it though? Not according to you.
Well, the chicken is an investment. It's not a marketing expense. It's an asset. Assets depreciate.
Oh, we're reviewing now. Okay, good. Thanks. I was an English major and an art minor. I don't really care about assets and
Yeah.
ledgers and numbers and
No,
calculators
I
and
was just
stuff,
trying to I was just trying to use
I
all of our overused words in a sentence.
Here's what I think. There was a book by Jen Sincero called You Were a Badass. And every business owner
Oh
read
my
that book,
god,
and then
yes.
everybody wanted to say everything was a badass. And I have this blog post that's like sitting that I need to edit still about marketing myopia, which means like you just see it and then you copy everybody else.
Yeah.
And for people who don't like know the word myopia, which is kind of a
Super
$10 word, I
focused?
think, but you get like myopic, which is like you kind of are in this, it's what you're talking about. Like, how do we know if a word is overused or not? Right. Like we're sitting in our industry, and then there's like all these like business coaches and service providers and consultants, and they're sitting in their own industry. And they're tired of certain words or they don't like to describe things in a certain way. And what it means then is everybody is a carbon copy of everybody else. So you go to one IT consulting website, and it looks like all of the hundreds of other ones. And then people say, why can't I stand out? And it's because you look like and you sound like everybody else. And it's not, and it's the words, but it's also like that you're not talking to the client, I
Dude,
think.
dude, not only that, but as a copywriter, like your original question, which words have you been told to use? I
Yeah.
have, however, been told to emulate the copy found on our competitors' web pages. I'm like, I don't give a crap about whatever their website says. First of all, we don't know what their goals are with that page. We don't have the data. We don't know if it's successful. We
Right.
don't know if their audience is the same as ours. We shouldn't be, and that's part of why so many web pages are just copies and copies and copies, because everybody is assuming that their competitor or who they want to be, that's the way they should also do
Well,
it.
or that they're more successful, or that,
Right.
there's so many assumptions about success and viability and whether it's working or not. And a lot of
It
times
could
we just
just
need to.
I mean, we don't know what's funding it. Could be just somebody's like lost leader.
Exactly. That's the thing. And I will tell you that things have turned around since I finally just said, I don't care what anybody else is doing. Doesn't matter to me anymore.
Yep.
And that's why I like the tweet today where I'm like, finally off of WordPress, finally off Active Campaign. I just realized like I didn't like it. Like, and I needed to be on things that made sense to me. Like,
Right.
and I know that it's very counter to what all of my colleagues are saying and doing, and I get it. And it's not even about what I would recommend for other people. I don't have to they don't have to do what I'm doing. Like
Right.
that's fine. It's about like carving out your own way and finding your way of doing it. And I think that that's the thing about like getting in your own way sometimes is like you don't realize how different you are than other people and you just want to do what everybody else is doing instead of saying, "Well, wait, like is this even going to work for me?" Like,
Yeah. Because I'm in a lot of WordPress focused Facebook groups. And they're like, well, which
Yeah.
thing do you use? And which thing do you use? Well, I don't know if I should use this. And I don't know if I should use. And that's what I mean. This focus on the tool. Just
Yeah.
like sometimes it's like engagement bait. But I
It
think
is.
sometimes people are really asking. They really
Yeah,
don't
like
know.
what works, And the thing is, like it again, it, I didn't leave Active Campaign because I think it's a bad product. I left Active Campaign because it was a bad product for me and what I'm doing right now. Like and that's really when you leave and when you find your own thing. Is that something that like other people recommended to me? No. you know, it was a big expense and I wasn't using it fully and their builder is outdated at this point and it's hard to create everything, and they keep saying they're going to update it and they didn't. And I was like, why am I paying $50 a month for a tool when I'm not using CRM?
Yeah.
When my goals have totally changed, when I can go over here and it's like $11 a month
Yeah.
and it'll build out what I need. And I can still grow into it. I can still do all the,
Yeah.
it's not like I've like found something that's so unique I can't grow.
Right.
And so that's the thing. Like you have to find what works for you and then you do that. And you use those tools and you don't worry about what other people are doing.
Yeah. That's the hard part. That is really the hard part.
The not worrying about what other people are
Yes.
doing.
Yeah, because one of my friends was like, how do you get confidence? And people are like, just don't care what other people think. I'm like, that would have saved me a lot of money in therapy and a lot of heartache. We're social animals.
Right.
We subconsciously want to be accepted. That's why you like see a bunch of people, they all start dressing alike.
Yeah.
When they're a group of friends, they just start dressing alike. And it just happens so that we don't even notice that we're not always aware that that's what we're doing. We're just trying to be accepted.
Yeah. But there's drawbacks to that.
Oh, a lot of drawbacks. You're not going to stand out if you're just a penguin among penguins. And I honestly have no idea how they know which kid is theirs. Nobody's asking for DNA tests at all.
The penguins?
Yeah.
No, I know. And the chickens. Let's not forget. They look alike too. Chickens.
They look a lot alike. One rooster to every 10. That's a lot of baby mamas.
That's a lot of baby mamas. I don't even know. You seem to know an awful lot about chickens right
Well,
now.
just about the Appenheller Spitzhaven. Spitzhaven. Habenspitz. It means bonnet. Like they have
You said it like 16 different ways, like in the last 5 minutes. Like I'm like
Appenheller Spitzhauben. It's
Okay.
it's a Swiss chicken. It's a rare breed. They have like this little mohawk.
I don't know, man. I'm beginning to think that you're a rare bird too.
Dude, I am a rare bird. And now I'm just like I'm just me, and that's been the thing with even how my business has evolved. I'm like, if I'm not doing I'm not a content creator the way a lot of people say they are. I'm a writer and I will defer to your website to make tweets. But I'm not making reels and I'm not making videos and I'm not writing content that comes from my butt. Like it's not happening. I'm either writing for your website and handling your Twitter account, or I'm just not. All these other things are not happening. Like I was just on this podcast on Friday, yesterday. I guess that was yesterday. And I've realized this because of some of the leads I've been getting. I'm like, I am very website focused with my marketing style because to me, I know that works.
Right.
So you can hire me to do your Twitter account. And if I'm hired to do your Twitter account, then you can add on writing, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And if
Yeah.
I really love you, I'll let you do Instagram, but I hate it. Okay. So, like, but I'm not going to just write one offs for people because the Twitter is how I get in my mind into your brand. Right. So
Right.
I just don't want to write rando articles. I lose money that way.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm writing product pages for chickens and I'm doing the Twitter account. So, and blog posts to come soon. But
About chickens.
there are 30 breeds that's on this
So
hatchery that I have a lot to learn about
I have
chickens.
to I have to ask because I have to ask: is there going to be a launch with words chicken edition? A chicken pack?
Dude, no, because by the time I finish writing 30 product pages for chickens and then 4 blog posts a month, I'm going to be done with chickens. But like, I know there's a farm too. There's like 7 varietals of beets and kale and all heirloom organic seeds and all this stuff I got to learn about from like soillife.org and tilling is bad. And I just can't. There's a lot. Every time I'm deep into a client, that's why I want the whole, like this wholeness of them. Like that's why I'm kind of an all, but I thought about doing it for the funeral industry, but like,
Oh,
let's
that's a
just
good one.
finish my care home one first.
Is that the one that you were going to release in April?
No, care home is the one care homes.
Okay.
So like people who have a care home, a residential care facility,
Right.
it could
Like
be private
kind of like a
or
nursing home
no,
or
because this is what I've learned. Nursing homes are skilled. That's for like people that need 24/7 care.
okay.
That's not assisted living. A residential care facility and assisted living are synonymous. However,
Okay.
most assisted livings also have memory care and skilled nursing, so that you could kind of graduate your way to death.
That
Kind of
just
how
doesn't
it's
sound
set up.
like fun, but okay.
No, but like it's
But it makes
if you
sense.
have to
Yeah.
if I had to live that way, I would choose that. I would get long-term care
Yeah.
insurance and I would choose to live in a place where they know me and as my needs for care increase, I would go up or I would just get the Kevorkian and exit at 80. Like that's not an option. So
And then you just end it with a smile.
well, why not? Why not? I used to like I used to be super pro-life, but now I'm like, I cannot afford to live until 101 like my grandmother. So like I am not cutting back on the drinking. This liver needs to fail me by 82. Like I just want to hit that average from the
Wow.
actuarials. Like how am I going to afford to live this long? Because more research, the average couple who's 45 years old now
Okay.
from retirement until they die need $1.7 million for medical co-payments and insurance. $1.7 million. That's in addition to whatever else you're going to eat and live and stuff like that.
And
Super depressing.
so what you're saying is you don't have it. Is that what you're saying?
I have $200 in my savings account. I'm not living large over here. That's why I'm building lots of
Wait.
words. So
Wait. I thought that Texas everybody no? It's not about living large.
Well, not me. I mean, I don't have a drug dealer boyfriend yet.
Yet. Ooh, life
or
goals
a
with Bridget
millionaire.
Willard.
Like so San Antonio has the 7th largest population in the United States, but of the top 10, we're the poorest. But I
Okay.
chose this place because I really love the people. I really loved it when I came here on vacation and least amount of natural disasters of the major cities in Texas.
Okay.
Like I don't need hurricanes like Houston and Corpus Christi,
Yeah, that's
and I
true.
don't need tornadoes like Dallas and Fort Worth. I don't need that. and El
And like
Paso is too
Austin
close to
is what's wrong with Austin?
Austin is Los Angeles.
Oh.
There's no reason for me to move from California to live in Austin. It's just all the other people from California living there.
Oh. Okay. Good talk. Thanks.
But one of my friends just
So
moved, so I guess I'll be spending more time.
I know, I saw that. So, okay. So you don't have the 1.7 million. So but you're going to use that $200 you have in savings to buy more whiskey?
Well, that's my grocery money.
Oh.
But no, I mean, like, so but anyway, that's why I'm building that's why I have Launch with Words.
Well, yeah, because it's
Because
passive income.
yeah, eventually it will be. And then I can build up my savings account. And I'm also buying Treasury I bonds because that's what Susie Orman says to do. That's because you can buy $25 worth of them. And I'm like buying $25 of I bonds from the Treasury Department. It's the only place you can buy it from.
Okay.
Every other month. And I'm gonna just do that because it's inflation proof. It's the only inflation proof.
Oh,
So
really?
that's like
Okay.
savings. Yeah, because they have to at least pay you what it's worth. And there's like adjustments.
Works for me.
I know.
I mean, I guess I'll hold off then on making an NFT and selling it.
Well, I mean, that's part of the problem is the crypto market kind of sank. Like to me, I don't believe in that because
I don't either.
Because even if you think it's recession proof, you're going to buy it with US dollars at some point, and then you're going to sell it for something that has an equivalent value in US dollars at some point. So it all like,
well, I mean, but everybody who's into like Web3 and NFT and everything, they believe that it will be the thing. So they're saying that it won't be cashed out into something like US
okay.
dollars.
Well, okay. So like if you're using it for art, which I get it, like the stickers and things like that, that's fine. But art that's collected, somebody dies and they don't give a crap about your Monet. They just want the money.
Right.
Eventuality is going to happen. Otherwise, it's not worth anything.
Yeah. Well, it's just like right now, I can't take an NFT to the grocery store and buy some carrots. Like
not yet, but
not yet. I mean,
PayPal is letting you pay with crypto now.
Like when that happens, like things start to change. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so for a lot of people, I mean, they're getting crypto with that thought. Like, yes, you do have to buy it with your home currency, and then their thinking is that eventually, to which I say, I read Wired all the time. I read about all of the scams and everything that's going on and how I think in the last year, there was like $2.5 billion of crypto money stolen. And because it's all locked in keys and everything, like once it's gone, it's not FDIC insured, it's just gone.
Oh my gosh, I never thought about being stolen.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and you have no protection. Like it's not like a bank or anything, so it's like, yeah, banks are bad and everything like that. But it's also in this system with you can even lock yourself, because I know how all these keys work, the keys, like you can lock yourself out of your own account. And if you lock the key and don't remember how to get into it, you can never get to it.
Because like it doesn't exist.
It's like it doesn't exist. And so I think until some of these things get kind of worked out, like it's really hard for me to say I'm going to put my money in it. Because it's
side money.
It's my money.
I mean, my little side money is just I'm throwing money into a stash. Okay, I mean, I'm not trying to not save. I have a stash account that's for retirement, and I'm doing the I bonds because I'm like, okay, it needs to be more balanced. But like, I'm just not at the income level where I can afford to do that yet.
Yeah,
I'm paying for this beautiful smile, and when I start making tens of hundreds of dollars extra,
but only till you're 80.
I just think I think that's funnier to say it that way, but I've really thought about it. Like Soylent Green, take the homeless people, you get a really great. That was what Soylent Green did, but I was thought like
this is taking a really dark turn.
No, but it's kind of practical. It never occurred to me until I realized, oh my God, I hope I don't live that long.
'cause it's really expensive, and you can't really get some of
Yes.
those insurance policies anymore for long-term care and stuff. I don't know how people can afford it. My grandma was actually in one of those assisted living. I'm not sure if I'm using the right words that you were saying earlier, but like the kind of graduated care where you
Yep.
go from living in your own house, like you buy the house, but they own it. I don't know how to, this is how it was at Rockwood in Spokane, Washington. And then you would go into like different levels of care and you
Right.
would end up like in the memory care kind of hospital and everything.
Was she
So,
in there for 3 years or
um,
less?
no, that was a whole different reason, but she ended up in memory care in Boise, near my mom, but, um, that's a 302 marketing redirect after hours. Like you'll
No,
have to
but
get
I know,
that.
but that see, that's
Um,
the things you
but it's
learn.
but it's
Like
like the average, I'm sure it's about 3 years, like before
3
somebody
years.
passes away or,
Yes, 3
but
years.
it's really expensive to buy in, like, and then to do it,
The average is 43,000. So you need about $200,000-ish to make sure you have enough money to live. That's just you living in that place. That's
right.
not your
It's not
medical
everything
care.
else. Yeah, it's not everything else.
No.
Like, they had to pay more for people to come in and, yeah, I mean, my main thing is, like, I don't wanna fall and break a hip or
Oh my
shoulder.
gosh,
Like,
no.
that's, like, what happened to her. She was doing really well, everything was great. Um, she was, like, I think, like, maybe 85, 87, something like that. She fell in the Costco parking lot. And when she broke her hip, then like, and my brother, he's a nurse and he says that that happens a lot. Like your mental capacity for some reason is something happens when you break your hip and and then she got dementia and all kinds of stuff. And it was just really
That's so
hard.
sad.
So yeah, that's the main thing. Like,
Man, I
don't,
gotta start
don't
yoga
fall.
again.
I know.
I get that balance. Like, I don't need to be falling.
You're talking to concussion girl over here, like fell and hit her head. Like, you think I don't know?
We should probably let Shelly and anybody else who lasted this long go.
Oh, she left a while ago. What are you talking about?
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed this
It's just you,
conversation.
honey bear.
Just the two of us.
And we didn't even talk about the abominable snowman. Like we never even got back to that.
Abominable snowman.
That was last
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Like how he's real and shit.
Okay, well, we always have next week.
We always have next week. What are we gonna talk about next week?
Oh, man. I don't know. There'll be something. I'm sure that something happens to us this week and we're like, topic.
I know I still have to come up with a topic for tomorrow's newsletter. How's that?
I haven't either. I'm just so over it. I'm sick of selling myself.
Writing about chickens?
Oh my God. I've almost started writing again tonight. I'm like, nope. I literally bought a 8-year-old joke book because it really needs to be. My humor was too witty for the first pass.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like for families and like kids could possibly read this. So we're aiming
On
for
the chicken
8-year-old
site?
jokes. Yeah, because
Oh,
a lot
okay.
of moms and kids in Chicago want to have a pet, a chicken,
A chicken
for
pet. So these are
because
for like urban farms then.
yeah,
That's
people
what we
that
call
want
them
to grow
here.
their own,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
urban farms, yes. And they
Yeah.
just want to have a chicken because the eggs are better, and they want to make Aunt Marge jealous because the cake is so much better. But see, that was too witty, so that line got deleted.
So that line got deleted. I
Fresh
hear ya.
eggs, but chocolate
Yeah.
cakes, 56 chocolate cakes a year.
I
Now
mean, for
that
reals.
every
Did
8-year-old can
that
understand.
stay in?
That's what I turned in. I'm not editing it anymore, so.
Oh, okay.
3
Good talk.
edits? I don't do that. But to get the voice the first time, like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I got 9 more to do this month. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I'm not working tonight.
No.
I need to not think about anything anymore. I turned the website on. If anybody would like to look at epiphanycourses.com, let me know. Be kind. If anybody looks at it, I think my husband has the worst taste in movies, so I have to go downstairs and see what he turned on. If it's something like, I'm not kidding you. I've like had wonderful days completely cratered by this man's horrible film choices. Like, and like, like I was like, I came downstairs, I was like, yes, this day was just awesome. And he's like, oh, okay. And I look over at what he's watching, and it's like Angelina Jolie made a movie about Cambodia, and it was like the most depressing movie of all time. And he's watching it, and he's like, yeah, I'm just watching this thing. And I sat down and I watched it with him, and I was like, why? Why? I can't do this. So now what I've started doing, and I've, because it's raining here, so we're like trapped in here again. And I've been like, okay, so we're going to watch a movie, but like no Cambodian children will be killed. And like, I just kind of start grabbing from like all of the places. I'm like, I need it to be happy. So last night it was hot in Cleveland. I might push for that again tonight because that just was really made me smile. He put on MASH for some reason, and I was just like, I was done. Like, I was like, no.
Yeah, it's too sad.
It wasn't
the movie is really sad.
Yeah, well, and it was the show, and it was funny, but like, I can't binge watch MASH.
No, that's
because
not
it's still
binge-watchable.
sad. It's like,
Oh yeah, people are dying and stuff.
People are dying and stuff. Yeah.
So like, I'll just tell you really quick. So as a second date, and obviously the last, the guy, we go to the movies, and he says, "Do you want to see Julia Roberts or something else?" And I was like, "Oh, Julia Roberts." And so we get in there, and there's like this dragon thing everybody's seeing, and he's like, "Oh, da da da, something dragon, something dragon." And I go, "I have no idea what that is." And he goes, "Oh, you don't know?" I go, "No." He goes, "Man, it's a really long line for those people to see something about a dragon." I'm like, "I like dragons. I mean, I have a dragon tattoo, but like he goes, "I can't believe you don't know what this is." And I said, "Is it something you would go to Comic-Con for?" And he said, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's why I don't know." So we had our second date, and we saw Ben is Back, which is about a recovering. It's Julia Roberts as a mom dealing with their addict son. He dies in the end from a drug overdose. Not a good movie to see on a date.
It's not a date movie.
He told me Julia Roberts.
No,
I'm thinking Notting Hill. Okay, like I don't know what's out. I'm busy on the internet doing
Notting Hill. Does that even have Julia Roberts in it?
Yeah, it's Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant, what's his face? What's his face?
Yeah,
British dude.
I'm just a girl standing at the end of the podcast asking you to close it down.
Wow.
I'm jumping the shark over here.
And with that, I'm going to hit this end stream button. Thank you so much if any of you have made it this far.
You're my
listening
hero.
Or watching the 302 Marketing Redirect with Bridget Willard and Jen McFarland.